The committee is proposing another $500 million in spending. Here to break this down for us, we have David Williams with the Taxpayers Protection Alliance. Good morning, David.
Good morning. There's a lot going on here.
It is. It's so much for people to keep up with, and you've got some of the highlights that we should know about.
Yeah, so what the state is trying to do is obviously help people through this pandemic. And what they're doing is throwing a lot of money at this. And as you mentioned, this has ballooned to almost $1.3, $1.4 billion just on the state level. And we have to ask ourselves a couple of questions. What are the pressing needs of the people, and what are the pressing needs of businesses, and how can the state help with the least amount of money, right? I mean, money will have to be spent, but how do we do this efficiently? And right now, unemployment is the biggest issue in the state, and Fox 45 has been following this for a number of weeks now. People aren't getting their unemployment benefits, and part of this package is to hire 47 more people to help process these claims. Now, will these people be permanent, or will they be temporary? Because the state could be getting into trouble long term if these 47 new people are long-term employees, but they need to get this backlog done. And there's also a proposal for $1,000 for the people that haven't gotten their unemployment yet. So, this is critical, but the real part here is businesses. How do we get businesses open again in Maryland? Because that's going to solve the unemployment problem. If businesses reopen, then you have the unemployment going down. So there's a lot that they have to deal with. And there's also legislation on the federal level that might pass. So a lot of money is being considered right now, both at the federal and state level.
All right, so much of this is cyclical. And we're talking about some of the money coming from Maryland's rainy day fund. Talk about, is this what it's there for? Or are there some concerns about using it to pay for this?
Boy, the pandemic, it's raining cats and dogs, right? I mean, this is the rainy day, but they have to be careful. They have to be careful on how they spend this, and they want to spend about a quarter of it. Right now, about $300 million out of the $1.2 billion rainy day fund, they want to spend. And they need to spend the money on priorities and not just for the sake of spending it. So it needs to go towards things, to open the economy back up and help people, because if they spend money, let's say, on transportation projects, that does nothing really for the pandemic, and there's money in there for transportation projects. So I'm a little concerned, and people should be concerned, of just spending a lot of money. And, it's funny because just before the segment, you heard the positivity rates are going down. I mean, that's a great sign, right? So, maybe take this slowly and not spend the whole $1.3 billion and really prioritize the funding at this point.
All right, we've been speaking with David Williams, Taxpayers Protection Alliance. Thank you for joining us this morning.